So about 24 hours ago, I got back from watching a Minecraft movie, and I sat here, thought about it for a little bit. It's been, again, like I said, about 12 to 24 hours in that range. And I feel like there's a lot of negativity going around on the internet right now, especially because of a certain company's recent announcements that I thought, hey, let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about something silly and do something we haven't done on the channel before. This channel focuses mainly on video games, and a big part of the video game industry, especially right now, are adaptations. Maybe this will spring into me covering other ones, but I'm gonna really try not to and only talk about really, really big ones, like the Zelda movie that will come out eventually. However, seeing that a Minecraft movie has been taking the internet by storm for certain one-liners and different things that we'll discuss here in a second, I thought it would be fun just to talk about the movie a little bit. So with that, I'm gonna try my best not to spoil anything, but just consider this your spoiler warning. I can't really control what I say half the time, so I might say something here or there. Let's talk about the things that I didn't really like about the movie first, which is pretty much everything about it. That's kind of a joke, but also not really. This movie is not that good. If you're someone like me who has studied movies for years, knows how the movie making process works, knows just all of the intricacies that go into crafting a movie, no pun intended, this movie is not good. This is not a good movie. Structurally, objectively, just by any metric, this movie is not good. Now, is this the worst movie ever? No, I actually think it's better than most of the Sony Marvel movies. I would put it above all of those. I would give it like a 2 out of 5. Okay, this movie is not the best, but it's not the worst. It's like a little under mid. The jokes in this movie, it felt like, again, it was probably the theater experience that I had, but it feels like most of the jokes that were made in this movie were overshadowed by like the epic Jack Black one-liners. And that's the other thing, the acting in this movie, just like across the board, was not good, besides whatever, the girl and her brother. Those were like the only two characters that I felt like were actual characters. Obviously, this movie is not trying at all, and I feel bad saying that, because obviously there are peoples whose careers are made from writing movies and directing movies, but I don't think that the writers of this movie should be in the video game genre. And Jack Black and Jason Momoa are just so beyond over the top in this movie.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
Obviously, that was pretty much all confirmed through the marketing. Everybody knew that going into it. And I mean, you're pairing Jack Black, who's on this video game movie like marathon. Like, this dude's on an industrial run right now. And then you pair him with someone who is equally over the top in Jason Momoa. And you just get this recipe of like absolute what the fuckage. And it's really fun to watch for the most part. Honestly, this movie made me excited for Jason Momoa to return as Lobo in the DC the DC universe that James Gunn is crafting, because I feel like this character, Garbage Man, that he plays, the shit talking and just kind of the attitude, is kind of related to that DC character, but that's neither here nor there. Also, just like everybody else, I did not like the way this movie looked at all, man. This movie, I knew it was gonna look bad. I've seen all the trailers, but I still felt the whiplash when you first see the villagers and you first see the mobs. I think the wolves are the only thing. The sound design in this movie, that's probably the best part, is the sound design, because a lot of the sounds were just taken straight from the game, from Mojang. It works really well in the movie. The Endermans sound like Endermen, the sheep sound like sheep, the Ender Pearls sound like Ender Pearls. It all works in that regard. And then the thing that I probably didn't like, distinct villain for this movie, but I feel like there's a perfect villain for you to use for something as stupid as a Minecraft movie, right? Herobrine. If you're younger and you don't know the lore of Minecraft, essentially when the game first kind of was being tested and released, there was this huge internet rumor, and you got to remember, this is early internet, okay? This is like the early to like mid 2000s, where you don't really know what is real online. It's kind of like now, you don't know what's real and what's AI. Back then, you didn't have to worry about AI. You just didn't know what was real. And just look up Herobrine and like the history of Herobrine. It was never a real thing, but it was like this mythical icon for Minecraft lore and Minecraft players like myself and my friends. And I feel like that was just such a perfect villain for them to use, but instead they used this weird fucking piglet thing, which and I'm just not a fan. I just wasn't a fan of that, but I actually liked the pigmen being the villains in general. I think that makes sense. All right, time to talk about the elephant in the room, the theater experience, because that is what this movie has become. Essentially, if you're not an avid movie goer, the theater that you get, the people that you randomly get to sit with can either make or break a movie experience for you. For example, when I went and I watched Endgame, the theater I had was amazing. Everybody was afraid to make noise. This lady's baby started crying and she literally yelled at it to be quiet and then took it outside because everybody was so into the movie, and it just made the harder hitting scenes hit harder. But man, I don't know if it's because I'm a fucking unk now or it's because I'm like almost 25. The fucking kids nowadays are something else, man. I worked in the movie theater industry when Black Panther came out, and that was one of the worst few weekends of my life, okay? There were thousands of people coming in and out of the movie theater, making messes, like throwing popcorn drinks. But yesterday, watching the Minecraft movie was probably the worst theater experience in terms of the people I was surrounded with I have ever had. Just these groups of teenage boys recording every single one-liner, clapping at everything, dude. We weren't even 5 minutes into the movie. There was like the Mojang opening scene and the world loading screen, and it was like riot level cheering. I thought they were gonna start a riot. I actually, at one point, the manager of the theater came in, and I actually really thought they were gonna stop the showing, because if you didn't know, theaters can do that and not give you your money back. It's a thing that they're allowed to do. At least in America, they're allowed to do that. I don't know anywhere else. And I think it depends on the theater you're going to, but anyway, that doesn't matter. The chicken jockey line, obviously it's become a huge meme, and Jack Black in this movie is just a fucking meme the entire time. He's not trying. It's very apparent. I've watched Jack Black movies ever since I could remember, but this is top tier level of him not really trying and just getting a paycheck, but also you can kind of tell he is having fun. It's like they told him just to say everything like it's an epic one-liner, and he does, and to give him credit, he does it really well. And it's really funny when all of these kids start clapping and cheering at the stupidest shit. However, that is also a double-edged sword, because then it became a problem when the kids next to us started chucking their drink cups, and then everyone, when the chicken jockey line came on, everyone was like cheering, jumping out of their seats, popcorn buckets went flying, and it was kind of a mess. And when the lights went up and the post-credit scene happens and you start to leave the theater, it actually looked like a war zone, and I wish I could be more dramatic about it. I've never in my life, in the hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of movies that I've seen in the 23 years that I've been alive, I have never ever seen a theater such a mess. It was bad, dude. It was really bad. I feel so bad. Someone's got to check in on these workers, man, because I would not be surprised if the theater doesn't allow snacks anymore, because it was literally that bad. And that has to do with how I feel about the movie. The theater experience was that bad. The movie was really bad. So why do I like the movie? Honestly, I wish I could tell you. This is one of those movies where if you grew up with Minecraft and you know a lot about the game, even if you haven't played it for a couple years, you're going to enjoy the movie. It has something to do with nostalgia. And again, this movie is terrible across the board, but I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely watch it again. Would I have to have a drink and maybe something else? Probably. I would probably have to be a little elevated to enjoy the movie fully again. And the post-credit scene was just fun. It was just a fun little nod to the movie itself and to Minecraft, and to kind of what they want to do in the future, because they're definitely probably making enough money to make another movie. But if you're going to go watch this movie and hope that you get enjoyment out of it from a filmmaking perspective, I'm just going to tell you right now, do not go into it that way. You just gotta not care, right? That's how I went into the Mario movie, and I actually really liked that movie just in general. I thought it was actually pretty good for a video game movie. And in terms of a video game adaptation, I actually kind of think this movie works. Now, everybody likes adaptations differently. Things that I like out of video game adaptations, I want it to feel like the video game, but I also think it's important for the adaptation to stand out. I think it's really important for the adaptation to feel like its own thing instead of just copy and pasting what the video game does really well. And I actually think that the Minecraft movie does that pretty well. It's very obviously about Minecraft. The way that they tie Minecraft into the real world makes some sort of sense, I guess. And it feels very different because obviously Minecraft doesn't have a story. So it gave them a lot of liberty to kind of make it their own. And they very much did. Was the execution good? No, probably not at all. But visually, I think the movie was actually good. I didn't like the art style of the movie, but it looks good. Like all of the animation actually looks really solid. There's no early 2000s jankiness CGI, what I like to say. The CGI here is all actually pretty good. Last thing that I'll say, they made the night mode. When Minecraft goes dark, they made it look actually scary to be a part of, which I was very, very happy about. I would actually be okay with a full hardcore night Minecraft movie that's rated R by this director because they actually made it look scary. There's one specific scene with a sheep and some zombies that I was actually surprised that it made it into the movie for it being a PG movie because it actually was almost a little horrific. But yeah, that's my review of a Minecraft movie. It was definitely a movie of all time, probably the more wild experiences I've ever had in a movie theater. But yeah, if you watched the Minecraft movie or you're planning on it, let me know in the comment section down below. Just remember what I said. Do not go into this movie thinking it's going to be good because it's not. It's not, but you'll have fun. I think this is just like a stupid fun movie to watch. Anyway, we're going to be back to the normal video game content soon. I just wanted to do something a little more fun, make it a little more positive around here since it's not been recently. If you do like movies and you want me to make more of these videos, let me know that as well. Also, follow my Letterboxd in the description. It's in the description of every video, as well as my second channel. Check both of those out down there. This has been Nate, otherwise known as Wicked, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.